Today we're going to look at week 11, lesson 3, count up and down between 90 and 1,000 using ones, tens, and hundreds using bundles. So, I'm going to put a problem on the board and we're going to try to figure it out together. So, I want to figure out how I can count from 473 to 800. So we want to count from 473 to 800. Now there's a bit of a hierarchy that I like to use for this bundling that makes it a little easier. First, we start with a unit. And by unit, I mean a ones place. And then second, we go to tens. So we start counting by tens. And then third, we count by hundreds. This works especially well when the final number is just 100. We will look at more complicated ones in the future, but for now, this is a good hierarchy. So let's start with 473. Now I'm going to bundle 473 into popsicle sticks. So I know there aren't going to be 473 popsicle sticks here, but we're going to do our best. So there's our 473 popsicle sticks. Now let's start with the first part of the hierarchy. Start with units. So let's add a popsicle stick. That gives us 474. Let's add a popsicle stick. That gives us 475. Let's add a popsicle stick. This gives you 476. Let's add a popsicle stick. This gives you 477, 478, 479, 480. So now you notice we reached a tens place. So since we reached a tens place, let's go ahead and let's start counting in bundles of 10 until we get to a hundreds. So we're at 480. Let's add a bundle of 10. Now we're at 490. Let's add a bundle of 10. Now we're at 500. So now we're at 500. So now we can start counting by bundles of 100. So I have a bundle of 100 here. That gives us 600. And Mr. Can's just going to copy paste, make it easier on himself. We have another bundle, which is 700. And we have our final bundle, which will be 800. So as you can see here, we were able to count from 473 to 800 using bundles and by using this hierarchy. Hierarchy is just a word that means you start with something and you end with something. I'll go in more detail later. So, first you start with a unit, then you go to tens, and then you count by hundreds. So you can even change this word to count by tens to make it a little easier to look at. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at one more. So this one's going to be 400. Actually, let's go ahead and let's get a little more unique with that. Let's try 90. And let's go to 300. So if we start with 90, we have our bundle of 90, right? Now, we're at 90. Do we need to count by ones to get to 100? No, because if you look, we already have our tens right here, just like in this problem. So So we can actually start with tens and then go to hundreds. So let's go ahead and add 110. That gives us 100. And then let's add a 100s piece, which will give 200. And let's add the final hundreds piece, which will give 300. So now we have successfully counted up and down between 90 and 1,000 using ones, tens, and hundreds with bundles. Alright, and as always, have a great day.